All right, are we ready?
We're ready.
And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's all in the fence. That's massive. That's massive.
That's right, baby. Back at it again. The In the Fence podcast with your favorite hosts right here in the Pacific Northwest. Aaron Flett, your friendly neighborhood Buckner. John, not with us today.
So he's not a favorite host? Because you said with your favorite host, and then John's not here?
He is our favorite host as well. He's just, I was getting to the part where I was explaining to the audience that he's not joining us today.
He had a pretty good run. He did like three or four shows in a row. That was pretty good.
He's taken a personal leave.
Yeah, a little sabbatical. He's fine, everybody.
He's accrued some some personal hours for his time. So he put in a time off request into the inbox, and we went through HR, and it got approved.
Yeah, those guys are tough too.
Yeah, HR is no joke, especially here at the Star Motorsports. Going through. What are you staring at?
Oh, I thought I saw whales, but it's just driftwood.
Ah, I see.
I got a notification on my phone. There was whales in the area.
Driftwood whales.
Yeah.
I see. How accurate is it now? If you're just now tuning in for the first time here, we are located right down by the Narrows Bridge, right on the water.
Point Defiance.
And you see all sorts of nature down here. So when you get a notification on your phone that whales are nearby, yeah, a race car podcast talking about whales. I know, right?
Orcas are cool.
They are pretty
cool. And humpbacks and gray whales, we get all three of those here.
Have you ever seen them all three at the same time?
No, only individually.
All of a sudden, it's like you're looking out into the Puget Sound. You see a humpback whale.
It's a whale party.
Doing a bong rip with an orca. They're just chilling out, having a six-pack of Rainiers.
Oh, look at that big, huge tugboat thing going by there.
Oh, there's a tugboat.
I don't know what that is. It's just a big barge, empty barge. They put dirt on those. I see them all the time come out of Olympia with dirt.
Yeah, that's about the most Tacoma thing ever. A big old barge full of dirt.
Dirty South.
Boy, what a week. What a week to get to. You have been ass deep in that car, getting that new engine in, making sure that we're making those horsepower numbers that Star Motorsports deserves. I know that John's been putting in, burning the midnight oil.
That's where he's at right now, is trying to get the car finished still for last Saturday.
Now, that is one thing. When you read on the internet, and maybe you have a couple YouTube channels on your YouTube feed that'll have car influencers. The one thing I've always not liked about car influencers is that they make it look so easy. They're like, today we're taking a Mustang engine and putting it into a Gremlin. And we've only got 48 hours because the clock is ticking.
For no reason whatsoever?
Right.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, go, go, go. Why are we going? Because we have to. It's YouTube.
We've got to, for some reason, yeah. We did have a deadline of Saturday to make it to South Sound for the race. And we worked, and it sucks, honestly, going from a Chevy to a Ford. The Ford part's great. It'd be the same thing if we went from Ford to Chevy, too, because everything's just so different. And John was doing such a good job like he always does. He can't help himself. There were some times where he's having to cut corners. You can see it when he has to cut a corner. It's like, he doesn't like kids, but if he did, it would be like having to, kill one of his children.
Oh, no.
He can't compute, like, cutting a corner on stuff. And he didn't really till the end. We were getting close, right? We had the door open to the shop on Saturday. We're looking at the weather. We're watching videos from South Sound to see what they're saying. And we're like, man, it's pretty nice here in Tacoma right now. It's probably going to make this race. So we're like, okay, well, we're still trying to get the exhaust built and figured out. And I'm back and forth to O'Reilly's and Bucky's and everywhere I can go, calling other racers who's got exhaust pieces that we need. We can scab together an exhaust system for this car. And we have headers, thankfully, finally, but we didn't have the right Y pipes and some other stuff. Working on that. And then also we realized Saturday morning, the radiator we got with this new motor, because Ford's different than a Chevrolet radiator.
Like the inlet and the outlet are
opposite sides.
Of course.
And also this radiator is quite a bit bigger than the Chevy radiator we had.
Okay.
So it didn't fit in our existing mounts. It's thicker and wider. And so we're to the point where we got to, we're thinking, okay, we'll probably make it to the track after qualifying. So we'll show up. It's the last race of the night if they run. And so we won't have a fan. We don't really need the fan much anyway, especially with a big radiator like that. Who needs a fan?
You're already making sacrifices for the good of the race.
Oh, we didn't have an alternator because we didn't have a bracket for it. So
who needs an alternator?
So like, just better charge that battery. For the radiator to mount it to the car, we set it in there and this ratchet strapped it into place. Like
that'll work.
Legit ratchet strapped it down into the existing mount that was there, into the pressure box for it. And it was like, nah, that seems like that'll work good enough. And then we were working on the exhaust, and like we got about 3 hours of exhaust work, John was thinking. It was still other things. The cars have been scaled since it's got this whole new, motor in it and big radiator and other thing. We added a big remote oil filter for it. And
but since it's for the same series as the other cars, I'm guessing that the Ford motor and the Chevy motor kind of weigh the same.
I don't know. Like, I know that Ford, like a 302 Ford motor, typically weighs about 50 pounds less than a 350 Chevy.
Okay.
But with this setup, I don't know if there's, because they're both aluminum headed, so that might make some changes. I don't know.
And that one night that I had the chance to go out to Evergreen a couple weeks back for the race and talking to some of the drivers, they were pretty impressed with the fact that you decided to go with the Ford motor, but not a lot of people seem to be running it. So getting R&D numbers back from like maybe some friends that are running that same motor.
There's a few, and it's usually the people in our class, no, but in, the cars, cars tours and Northwest Super late models, there's more of the Fords in those classes.
Okay.
Monroe in their pro late model, they have one person running it there that does really well, but yeah, there's never as many Fords.
Interesting.
Compared to Chevrolets.
So what were some other things that you encountered in this? Well, okay, I'm sorry, I got you sidetracked. Let's get back to Saturday. So did you end up making the race?
No, we got a call from Nick that they were calling the race.
Oh, the grace of God coming through.
Literally, like, tools in our hands. John's phone goes off. He answers it. It's Nick saying, hey, we're calling it. John saying, thanks, bye, click. And he told me, and we both set our tools down, and we had closed the garage, or we were out of that place in like less than 5 minutes.
You're just fuck
we weren't going to keep going. We were done. We're done. Well, our Saturday's over. So, and we've been watching. I've been sick also. I was sick on Saturday. I didn't tell John because I didn't want,
right.
Which I'm glad, like driving around for 50 laps and all that centrifugal force in my head would have been terrible, but I would have done it. We were watching all the other tracks. Agassiz, we could have went there, but they canceled on Friday for them. Mission Valley, we could have went there, but that was way too far away. And definitely, if the car wasn't done, we couldn't make it there.
Evergreen?
Evergreen was running, and they asked us to go there, and it was raining crazy. They race in the rain there, except for the late models. So I figured they would get canceled, but actually it cleared up there around 6 o'clock, and they got the races in. In theory, we could have went there, but it wouldn't have made sense because, A, we've not ever been there with the late model on the 3/8 race, and it'd be a gear change. We'd have to get tires, a membership, show up late with a car we've never been there with. It'd be a whole thing. So it wasn't worth it. We didn't make it anywhere. And so I think our next USA late model race at South Sound is July 4th.
Okay.
But that's
God bless America.
250 years old. And
does that mean you're going to be running 250 laps?
No, I don't know. Probably just running 50 again. That's a good question. I don't know. I haven't looked.
Well, the car could run 350 at that.
Well, hopefully.
1750.
1776.
1776.
There you go. Or 176 laps.
There you go.
I think what I'm going to try to do now is there's a super late model, the Chad Hinkle Memorial 138 at South Sound in 2 weeks on the 20th. And I'd like to go race that, play with the super late model guys, see how it goes. John can't make that race, so if anybody out there wants to help out and go with us, Skip, who went with me to Agassiz, he can't go that day either. He's got some quarter midget racing with the grandkids. Okay. So we're looking for some help. I'm looking for some help.
July 4th?
No, that's June 20th for the super late model race.
Okay. I'll see if I can commit some hours to that one.
All right. That's where we're at.
Are there any steering componentry or any other knick-knack weird shit things that you'd ran into with this engine swap that you just weren't, you're like, what in the, I don't even know what I'm looking at.
No, not really. Just the exhaust being the biggest thing, and then all, the fuel line on the opposite side of the motor. So we had to buy a new fuel line, and it had weird fittings. So there was just stuff that probably needed upgraded and updated anyway.
Right.
Especially, for John to be happy. Like, we could have made it work with a couple hose clamps and some, rubber hose from O'Reilly's, but he wasn't going to do that. So we had to get all new braided lines with AN fittings. And
have you ever run a race car with a vice grip attached under the engine for something?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Usually just try to wrap a zip tie around it so if it pops off.
That makes sense.
Bounce on the track, yeah.
Yeah, then that's probably, that combination, vice grip, zip tie, probably good for years and years.
Where were we at? I think it was South Sound, the last South Sound race we ran. I come out of turn 4 and there's a chunk of wood on the track, and I thought, oh man, our chunk of wood came out. And I went back in the pits, our chunk of wood's still there. It was somebody else's chunk of wood. So I don't know whose, but it wasn't ours. Ours is still in place where it was supposed to be. So yeah, random 1x4, whatever it was, we had wedged in there.
I love that. Yeah. It's funny, when I was actually on my way over to the podcast studio tonight, I like to pretend that I'm a race car driver when driving to go to the race car podcast.
In your Subaru?
Now, I don't drive like that, but, I'm not speeding and cutting in and out and being a danger.
Do you make the noises?
I'll make the noises maybe, or I'll throw on, the Danger Zone song from Top Gun, which actually came on at Evergreen Speedway toward the end of the night. But the thing that really got my attention is how when you're driving and you got, I had like a Toyota Matrix or a Toyota RAV4 or a vehicle, a Chevy Silverado next to me. But I was thinking, the thing that caught my mind and why I'm bringing this up is proximity. And when you're driving around the track and you have cars that are as close as they are to you guys, you don't ever get claustrophobic.
I wouldn't say claustrophobic. You might get anxious that, you're going to wreck, I guess, but it's also part of the fun.
I got you. Because you kind of have to read into what the other drivers are doing and try to anticipate their moves.
A little bit.
You're kind of a control freak, but that's what also makes you a good race car driver.
It happens so fast that sometimes it just, it just doesn't matter what you think. And I think the biggest concern in those situations for me is just not popping a tire. I don't mind if somebody rubs up against me or vice versa. I just don't want to cut a tire. A, they're expensive. It takes you out of the race. And B, it could put you in the fence.
Yeah.
And none of that's any good. Or, bend a tie rod or something like that. But
even though that's the name of our podcast.
It is, yeah, for a reason.
It's just, you guys have so many hours behind the wheel, you and John combined.
John especially.
That I kind of feel.
I got a sliver of hours compared to John.
I kind of feel like out of the loop. It's nice to be brought onto the team with the broadcasting chops.
We should go to the go-kart track.
Oh, the go-kart track would be so much fun. There's an indoor one that I think they run on batteries.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, K1. I beat John there. He won't admit it.
That would never be something that would ever take off at ever. I know we talked about this before, but battery-powered, like EV bump to pass.
Not bump to pass, no.
Okay.
One time I was thinking about the wood coming out of the car. Years ago, I had bought this Extreme Contact Figure 8 car. That's not a class anymore, RIP. They were supposed to be, entry level. They were entry level, usually full frame cars. They started building Camaros and they got kind of out of hand.
But Extreme Contact, like just in the name, is kind of like we encourage you guys to smash the shit out of each other.
A little bit. They had channel iron down the side of the car. So kind of like what you saw with the bump to pass cars.
Okay.
Not quite built tanks like those cars, but a step below that.
All right.
They weren't allowed to have the engines that bump to pass cars had. They were supposed to be stock engines, stock suspension, basically. And I'd bought this car from Malcolm Lindbergh, RIP, and it was a 85 Ford LTD, like the big one, the Crown Vic style 2-door.
Nice.
And I painted it a really terrible, like, Forest Service green that I had to paint. Somebody gave me, I was like, oh, look, free paint.
That is such an iconic color, too.
It literally looked like a Forest Service truck. And
I love that. And I mean, anyone who's listening right now knows exactly
what color that car was. Yeah. And I think I drove it once. I let my friends drive it at the time, that were helping me out. My friend Mark Patterson, who was a big flat track motorcycle racer and really good at that. I let him race it one time, and I let James Conley drive it. This is the most James thing ever.
I know James.
You know James, yeah. Everybody knows James. One of the nicest guys. We show up at the track. We're probably late, and he goes out to qualify this thing. and he goes into the north turn. He hears clunk, 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 boom, and the car wants to like spin out. Goes to the corner, next south turn, clunk, 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 boom. Come in the pits after qualifying, open the trunk. This has a trunk in the car because there was a 9-inch rear end pumpkin in there.
That you guys never even looked to see if there's
and
anything
a
in the trunk.
5-gallon can of fuel. Both of them rolling around in the trunk of that car. So a chunk of wood wouldn't be so bad, but 5 gallons of fuel and a 9-inch in the trunk was not great.
Not at all. I'm pretty excited. Should we talk about automobile updates and anything like that?
What kind of? You have updates for automobiles?
I do.
Like what?
I'm getting my M3 fixed, so I can bring it out on the road and start driving it around to do events and autograph sightings for the In the Fence podcast. I mean, you guys get to drive cool cars all the time out of Evergreen. I should at least have the treat of driving a cool car to Evergreen so I can park it in the parking lot to watch other cool cars do cool car things on the racetrack. So I wanted to give a shout out to Race Centric. It is a shop located at Pacific Raceways. They built a whole bunch of kiosk performance shops.
Yeah, you can rent them
at Pacific Raceways.
Start your own business there if you want.
Exactly. You can rent them and start your own business, and that's what these guys did. And they're running a really cool program there, so I'm excited to take my M3 over there. I'm getting some Bilsteins put on there.
You want an In the Fence sticker for the window?
Hell yeah, I want an In the Fence sticker for the window.
I gave a couple away this weekend.
Nice.
Yeah, all my Legend stuff is gone. Sunday.
Yeah, I was gonna. Okay,
Yeah,
they finally came and picked up the cars.
Yep.
Was there a sad goodbye, or you're like, just get them out of here? I'm tired of looking at them.
The cars themselves were already gone, but this was like the extra chassis, the bodies.
Oh, okay.
About 100 bumpers, brake drums, an extra engine.
Wait, you don't run full discs on those?
They do now. They didn't used to.
Huh.
So one of the cars we swapped over in Vegas. That's pretty new in the last 2 years, I guess.
I mean, I guess it'd be more cost effective to run drums in the back, but I mean, I hate drum brakes.
You know, in the Legend, I don't think it made a difference, to be honest. But I only drove.
Have you ever had to rebuild a drum brake before?
All the time in those things, but we had lots. That's what they get lots of parts. So I only got to drive it with disc brakes once, and I didn't really notice a difference. But so yeah, it was that all left. The little stands the rolling carts that we made for them, and all that stuff was gone. So nice to have the space in the shop, but that stuff left. Legends, RIP.
It'll be pretty exciting to see if
I want to run a Legend again, I'll call Matt Barrett and just rent one of his. If anybody wants to run a Legend car, contact Matt Barrett and you can rent one of his cars.
I wonder what the cost is like for something like that. Because I mean, I always saw your guys, and I thought maybe at some point, you guys would like let me suit up and try taking it to labs. But you take it also real serious. So what would it be if I were to just give Matt a call and then he could give me like a shakedown on how to drive one of these things?
Honestly, that's a good question. I would think
we should get him on the show.
We should.
And then that's some free publicity so he could pimp out his cars a little more.
I would think maybe, I'm guessing at $1,000.
That's not bad.
It depends.
To be in a full-blown race car and to have like somebody that knows what they're doing and just to get in and try it out.
I think we bought the Ford motor from Jeff Jefferson, and he does a lot of rental programs for a lot of these kids that are racing nowadays, you know. The Ethan Eberts and stuff like that, Cole Raz and stuff that are, and I think John says he thinks it's about $20,000 a race to run, like say the Cars Tour West at Wenatchee a couple weeks ago.
Damn.
So a Legend is much cheaper. So
a little bit. You can literally buy a Legend.
Oh, you buy a really nice Legend
for what those guys do in a weekend.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's not any less. I mean, watching those cars go with how small the track is on them, I can't imagine what it's like trying to drive one of those versus the car you're driving right now.
Oh, so much easier now. So much easier.
Yeah, because you got a little wiggle room.
Yeah, they're slower. The late models react much slower. Also, I saw a thing. I sent it to you. It was today, and it's already done. We missed the boat for this. There's an ARCA Menards race coming up at Pocono, I believe, this weekend.
Okay.
There was an ARCA team that had a sponsorship dropout, so they had the hood was available for sponsorship for $3,500
for ARCA Menard.
Yeah, for ARCA Menard series. And I thought, man, how cool would that be to put an In the Fence podcast sticker on the hood of an ARCA Menard series car in Pocono? That
would be pretty neat. Just the amount of photography exposure from that.
Yeah.
But that's only one race.
That's one race.
That's what they charge for one race.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We could give any local driver $3,500 and get the bulk of their car for the whole season for $3,500 locally.
Yeah. I mean, the more I'm learning about the style of racing that you guys been doing your whole life, I mean, because whole time I've been in a car, it's always been like, oh, I've always wanted a Porsche 911. But you guys, you could do a whole series for a whole year, the cost of like one of those cars, and actually like go racing, get tires, all the gas, everything you need for almost a whole year racing.
Yeah, we saw something on Marketplace somebody was selling. It was a helmet chiller. So it's like a cool box that goes in the car to keep you cool while you're racing. Mm-hmm. Not super necessary for the late model. We don't race enough, distance for those things, right? But the road race guys, I guess, have $3,000 for a used chiller for your helmet in your car. Like, I will sweat for $3,000. I'll tell you what.
It would be fun to do a road race in the BMW at some point.
You could do that. What's it? The time thing that they do? The autocross?
Exactly.
Autocross would be good.
Done the autocross.
You have?
Yeah, but they just basically take over a parking lot.
Yeah.
And you're running cones. And that's fine. But the actual sensation of driving, like, there's this one track called the Ridge.
Yeah.
It's out toward Aberdeen. If you're driving out toward Aberdeen, you're going to run into it.
Yep. Dave Brandenburg's daughter, Tracy, I believe, runs that place.
It looks incredible. And I just, I have fantasy. They have
go-karts there you can rent.
I have car fantasies of driving my M3 on the racetrack out there, all right?
You can do that on a track day. Make it happen.
All right. There you go.
You can borrow my tracksuit so you can look, it'll be a little long for you.
I'll get my own tracksuit. Yeah. I'll get my own tracksuit.
You can get my old one.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Smelling like farts. You're still like, a foot taller than me. So maybe if John has an old tracksuit, race suit. I keep saying tracksuit. It's not an Adidas tracksuit.
He has this old Ford one from way back in the day, but it's pretty
run through.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just get my own. I think it's about time anyways. And then plus, if I never actually get any seat time, I'll have a great Halloween costume.
Yeah, that would work. Speaking, you could wear it to Drivers Reunion Night coming up at Evergreen Speedway.
Perfect.
July 11th.
July 11th.
I think it's July 11th. That's a
Mark
Saturday.
Your calendars. Pretend to be a race car driver from back in the 80s.
Yeah.
My name's Cole Trickle. What, you never saw me in the movie Days of Thunder? I've been driving NASCAR.
That was a documentary.
That was a documentary about my life. Yeah, I'd like to get in for free. I'm going over to the corn dog stand right now. Get some mustard on my race car suit.
Like, Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise, height difference is like Nicole Kidman is to Tom Cruise as you are to me. Like, or vice, like I'm like Nicole Kidman and you're Tom Cruise size.
Yeah, plus you look better in high heels.
I don't know. She's pretty hot.
Yes.
She's super hot.
And then they fell in love in that movie.
Yeah, for a little while.
They had a baby.
Did they?
Yeah, with an accent. She has an Australian accent.
The baby?
Of course, the baby would obviously be born with an accent.
That's not how that works.
Yeah, it is.
No.
If you marry a British person or you marry somebody that's from another land and you happen to be American, whatever happens, the DNA and all that, your kid is going to be born with half of an accent.
No, it's not like a mixed baby would be, it's wherever they live.
You're going to try to tell me.
No,
if
you know what? I'm going to tell you why.
In a household with Nicole Kidman talking all sexy Australian that you wouldn't pick up talking like an Aussie.
I don't think her baby thinks it's sexy Australian.
You would all of a sudden be talking like you were at the waitstaff at the Outback Steakhouse.
They don't talk like that either.
Mom, my mom's Nicole Kidman, by the way. She's an actress. Mom, I want to suckle on a bloomin' onion.
No, a bloomin' onion. Okay. I remember you told me a story about this girl you met one time. Kind of blew your mind.
Oh, no. I know exactly where you're going with this.
Do you?
I do.
She was Asian,
gal,
yes.
Was sexy hot, but she had a southern
accent.
That's right. She sounded like she was from Georgia. Perfect English. It's like, howdy, y'all.
Kentucky Fried Rice Chicken.
Kentucky Fried Bulgogi Barbecue.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Wherever she is right now, cheers.
Cheers to
Blew
that
my
girl.
mind.
Would you see her in New York City? Is that where you were at? You were somewhere back east.
No. Was I?
Yeah, that's what I remember.
Might have been. I think maybe New York. God, I was drunk. I was drunk.
Were you
that
so
whole
drunk? Were you
trip.
sure she even had an accent, or you were just so drunk that
No, something like, it's like seeing lesbian porn for the first time. It just kind of sears into your memory. Like, you're never going to forget that moment.
Yeah, you picked up right what I was talking about.
Yeah. You're like, oh, accents? Oh, the Asian lady with the really sexy Southern accent? Yeah, that was...
I don't know if I'd consider a Southern accent sexy.
It's on the delivery. It's all about the delivery.
It would be interesting because coming from her, it would just your head would know what to do with that information.
Right, but instead of her, it was Ernest from Ernest Goes to Camp. Not sexy.
He didn't have a Southern accent.
Sure he did.
No.
In those movies?
No.
Absolutely.
I don't think so.
Well, in my mind, in my cerebral cortex, he had a Southern accent. I was like, why would I even brought him up?
Why do you bring up a lot of stuff?
Bo and Luke Duke.
That's
from
what
the
I was going to
Dukes of
say. There
Hazzard.
you go. That would make more sense, right?
Okay, so...
Daisy Duke.
Yeah, but that doesn't work because she's also like a smoke show. And if I saw her talking in a Southern accent, I'd be like, yeah, Southern accents are hot.
Gotcha.
You know, Bo and Luke, well, they're kind of fit too. I mean...
Yeah.
Boss Hogg. Now, if I saw Boss Hogg at the nightclub, dressed like she was, in like a low-cut shirt, and his belly was hanging out, and he was like, "Howdy, y'all!
It is
Let's
Pride
go
Month."
get some chicken fingers." No, there's.
But she
nothing
was that hot, she could scream like that, and you'd be like, yeah, that's hot.
Pretty much.
I'm going to make some chicken fingers tonight.
Just some Asian chicken fingers, teriyaki sauce.
I wanted to send out some shout-outs. Shane Sawin won the Legend race at State Line Speedway Saturday.
Woo!
Haley Constance won the late model race at Evergreen again. She's won all of them but one.
John don't like Haley.
I don't think John cares about one way or the other about Haley.
What was the one? She was the one that got door dinged when we were at the racetrack at Evergreen, right?
No, they weren't racing when we were there.
Oh, she's not a Legends.
No. Oh, no. That's a different girl altogether. Yeah.
Oh.
No. This is a late model driver.
Okay,
Haley
sorry.
Constance,
Sorry.
with her Joe's chassis.
Joe's chassis.
There you go. There was only seven cars in the race again, so that's kind of disappointing. We would have made it 8 if we would have got the car done earlier and decided to go out there. Mark Hubbard won the street stock race, and Jaden Luce, he won the Legend race at Evergreen Speedway. And Doug Wilkinson ran the Pro 4. I didn't know he even had a Pro 4 truck, but he won that race.
What are those look? Were they running the night we were at Evergreen?
I don't think so. Those are the junky little trucks, little 4-cylinder trucks.
And they like jump them on?
No,
the track?
that's the Spec Rangers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's more
They're like
junky than a Spec Ranger?
No, just some of the ones that are out. Some are really nice. There's very nice Pro 4 trucks, and then some just really not nice ones. His is mediocre.
Spec Ranger more like doing trucky type activity, and Spec.
Yeah, Spec Rangers are like pre-runners.
Okay.
Soft suspension. They jump and do stuff like that. They'll go in the dirt and the concrete. Where
And then the
Pro
other ones
4s
are more
just circle track,
like
race
NASCAR
cars.
trucks.
Yeah.
That's
little
what
NASCAR trucks.
I would like to get into that. Those ones right there. I went and saw NASCAR trucks at Las Vegas Motor Speedway years and years ago. Mm-hmm. What a good time. The line to get to the toilets, non-existent.
Yeah.
The crowds, huge, but also
Not too big.
not too big.
Yeah.
The trucks, still fast as hell, loud as hell. Just all the best of everything, just a little bit more manageable. Oh,
Jackie and I
top
saw
tier.
him last year at Martinsville. It was a good time. I
Hell
like
yeah.
the trucks.
Highly recommended.
Yeah. One thing I noticed when I was watching some of the clips and on Race Monitor for the races last week at Evergreen, we talked about this before, I think, is the invert. Now, I know John would agree with me on this. We talked about it, especially with the figure eights, but it should be all classes. The Legend cars, there's probably 16 cars in that race, maybe 18 cars, something like that. Always a pretty good field of Legends. And I felt like it had a 4-car invert. It's just ridiculous. Put the fast ones at the back. Let them work it out. Same with all the classes. Just not enough cars now. Invert them all.
So slowest cars in the front,
Yep.
fastest cars in the back. Make
at
it
least
way
a
more
12-car
interesting.
invert. Make it interesting. Make it fun for the fans so it's not the lead car just getting out front early and walking away with it.
But I thought, and maybe you can shed some light on this. I mean, is it really that big of a gap in driver performance, or is it the cars there's gaps there too?
Both. I think some of the Legend cars, there's some ones out there that are cheated up.
And we talked about that before. There's a certain things you can do to make your car a little quicker on the track.
Yeah. I mean, I think most of the legend cars, most are legal. I just think there's a few out there that have done something somehow to get a little bit of edge. But also comes out to drivers too.
They're running a little pixie dust in their tires. I know it.
Something. And I don't know if it's even tires, but I think there's just some of the cars that just doesn't make sense when you see them, and it can't. The drivers are good too. Like that's the thing. You got like really good drivers. These kids are really good, and you give them like a little bit of an competitive edge by cheating them up somehow, and it's going to be really hard to keep up with them.
No, I get what you're saying, and watching the cars too for the legends. Dude, there's just some people out there with so much skill behind the wheel. I don't know.
And some luck.
And some luck.
Luck never hurts.
No, sir.
I could use some good luck this year. One thing I was thinking about, you brought up going to Vegas to watch the trucks.
Oh, yeah.
And
well, I was lucky and I was fortunate in my travels that I lived like Las Vegas adjacent for a good long time.
Yep.
And so with the work I was in, working in radio, we would get spiffs for tickets for a lot of things. And one of those was NASCAR. And so we would be at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway quite a bit, like in the infield. I had the chance to meet some drivers along the way. I found out Jeff Gordon, not very tall.
No, he's short also.
I'm actually taller than Jeff Gordon.
Are you really?
Hey, I was looking down on Jeff Gordon.
Huh.
Yeah. Not like.
No, yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
So kind of how that all worked out is Jackie and I, before we were married, we met. I had some time off from work, and she also had some time off work. She had a good government job. She could get some time off. We decided to take a road trip to Vegas, and it was 10 days altogether. And her and her mom had a timeshare, so we were going to stay at some timeshare resort down there for a while. We drove, got to see some family on the way there and on the way back, and 3,000-mile round trip. And we went down to Vegas through the Redwoods, Reno, all that way.
Was that the one where you guys came and visited me for one night?
No, but
Okay.
we're going to get there, how this worked. We go to Vegas, have a great time. We actually stayed an extra day in Vegas, and then we drove back through to go to Zion National Park, my favorite place so far I've been to in America.
It's pretty.
It's great. So we leave there, and we're driving through.
Yep.
We drive through St. George. We're driving through trying to find coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Not easy to do in Utah.
Well, yeah, the LDS, yeah.
Yeah. So I think we had to go to McDonald's and get McDonald's coffee.
Fair enough. They make a tasty cup of Joe.
So we're literally leaving St. George, and we get a call from Buckner. Hey, man, how's it going? Good. It's on vacation. And he's like, oh, yeah. So my crazy girlfriend, the chef, pulled a knife on me and was going to stab me.
Yep.
And so I had to get away. So I got this job offer at some place called St. George, Utah. And I said, we're literally just leaving St. George, Utah right now. You had no idea we were in Vegas.
Nope.
You had no idea we were in Vegas. We didn't talk that much. So like, it wasn't like,
Well, you got this new girlfriend, and you
know how
weren't
it
like
is.
returning my text messages because you're like, "Hey, man, we've just been, hanging out with the."
I didn't want to text you and then have your girlfriend get jealous and then
Try to
shiv you
stab
or
me,
something. Yeah,
right.
she got sharp ass chef
I
knives.
have a proclivity for dating stabby chicks.
Yeah.
She was the best until she was the worst. And when
In
she
her
was
defense,
yeah.
you kind of you have a stabbable thing about you. Like,
What?
So I don't know. You look like something like kind of looks like that'd be something I wouldn't mind doing sometimes. Like just like, well, I wonder what it I've always wondered what it felt like to stab somebody anyway.
Great. And it has to be me. I have to be the guinea pig.
There's something about you. So we're leaving, and you tell me the whole story about almost getting murdered by your girlfriend, and you got this job offer, and I said, what?
It was like this close to a restraining order.
Yeah, I was like, you're gonna love this place. It's only like an hour and a half to Vegas.
Right.
It's lots of outdoors. You like to ski.
Yep.
There's mountains not too far away.
And the icing on the top, the cherry on the top of that ice cream sundae, no extradition.
No extradition. So I was like, you should do it. So Jack and I, we go along our way. We go to Salt Lake City, and we went to what was it? It was a buffet place. Not the Royal Fork. What was
Yep.
one of the popular ones?
Old Country Buffet.
No, not that one. but it had like the chocolate fountain and stuff.
Yep.
And
I know what it was called. It was called Old Country Buffet.
it was not Old Country Buffet. It was the other one that's not Old Country Buffet. But we're there. We had a hotel room, and this is like in between there before we get to Salt Lake, I think, or maybe it was after Salt Lake. We were getting closer to home, and so we went to go to the buffet for breakfast.
Okay.
Before we took off heading north some more, and this big dude walks in, big dude, like he loves a buffet. He will ruin a buffet.
He would stab a buffet
for sure. But the thing was, you know how like when real big guys, they're just so it's hard to find a shirt that fits, t-shirt wise. There's always that front belly kind of thing hanging out.
Right.
Not this guy. He took matters in his own hand and he sewed more shirt to his shirt. Not the same color shirt. It was like a totally different t-shirt. Like he just cut it and then. Or somebody, and he sewed, so he had like shirt, which I appreciated, honestly. I didn't have to see, like, he was a big dude, like real big dude. He was probably $5
So he was wearing a dress.
Well, on you it'd be a dress for sure.
Okay.
You look like that guy from A Christmas Carol. What day is it?
The Gettysburg Address.
So anyway, so we get back home, and it's a great time. Like we realized at that point, like we travel really good, and maybe we'll get married someday. And so I talked to you some more. It's like 2 weeks later or something, 2-3 weeks. You accept the job.
I do.
And you go down there. What station was that?
Under duress. By the way, let me tell you, don't talk about the restraining order situation when you're on the phone trying to bargain for a deal for monies. Because they would be like,
this guy needs to get out. We don't need to pay him that much.
Yeah, we're not gonna that last deal that was on the table that doesn't exist anymore. But we'll give you this, and I was like, fine, I'll take it. Yeah. And I think what they get me for a couple packs of Gold Sea coupon books.
Yeah, some of those discount tickets to some of the shows in Vegas.
Exactly. Yeah. NASCAR truck.
Yeah, go to NASCAR truck races.
Yep.
Yeah,
there you go.
So you're like, I'm gonna move down there in July, early July. I was like, all right, well, I'll go down there again. I'll fly down there. Mm-hmm. I'll meet you. Well, you're going to fly into Vegas anyway.
That's correct.
But you'd already been up to your new place.
Well, I had to transport all my stuff from South Dakota.
That's right, yes.
Manifest
So I was flying and you were driving in.
Across the United States
just
from South Dakota
to
the great state of Utah. My friend Chris drove the BMW. I drove the dark blue Jeep Cherokee with the U-Haul trailer on the back. And then we got everything in to the first temporary place, which I should have just bought that when I was there because it was literally right across the street from the radio station. I would have never had to drive. I could have just walked.
Yeah.
I would have had I wouldn't even need car insurance.
You wouldn't have been as late.
Never late.
Oh, you'd be late still. That's the whole point of the story. So I fly down to Vegas. You're up, at your place, unpacking. Like, I'm going to come see you down in Vegas. We're going to have a Vegas weekend together.
Yeah.
Vegas.
The boys are back in town.
And so I decided to enter the World Series of Poker.
That's right. I forgot about that.
It was an entry one. I didn't pay the $10,000. I was like, okay, I'm going to pay it was still a fair amount. And I'm going to play this because I got to wait for you. You had to get off work from the radio and all the stuff and drive down.
This is such a vague memory for me, so you're going to have to fill in the blanks.
Oh, it's not vague for me. So I'm in the tournament, and I'm doing okay. I'm not the best poker player. I'm okay, right? I'm not Ben Chandler, but I'm decent. And so I'm doing okay. And so, little breaks. I'm texting you. You're like, yeah, just telling me, you're getting close and this and that. I make it. We're halfway through, and so they combine all the tables. So it's half the people. So I made it to the second half, and I got a decent chip stack. Not great, not bad. I'm okay with the table I'm at.
When you get an entrance, do they give you X amount of chips?
Yes.
Everyone starts out with the same amount of chips.
Yeah.
Okay. This was at Binion's. Because that's where they used to hold the World Series.
That's where it used to be. No, this was Caesar's Palace.
Okay.
So, and I ate at that guy's restaurant there, and it was terrible. The famous guy who yells at everybody.
Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah, I ate there. I got a hamburger. It was like $20 back then.
Did it give you a British accent?
No, he wasn't there.
Because I've heard if you eat food from a British chef, sometimes you get a residual accent.
Yeah, no, I did not. I asked for French fries. They said, we have chips. And I'm like, smacked them about it. So I'm in there playing poker, and I'm doing okay. But I get a message like, this is so you. I'm going to story hop real quick before I tell you the rest of this poker tournament story. When we did college radio, you lived in Federal Way, where you live now.
Yep.
The radio station was in Auburn.
I'm rolling my eyes so hard right now because
Lee Hill, Auburn, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Know exactly where it's at.
I live downtown Auburn, so I would drive up. Our show started at what time did our show start?
6 a.m.
6 a.m.
Bright and early.
So I get up there. I'm there by 5:30. I'm pulling carts, and carts are like 8 tracks that we'd have like sound and things on. And
yeah, but you're also a father at this point. You're an adult. You've owned
You were an
multiple
adult.
small businesses. I'm still not an adult. Bro, I'm 47. I have the brain capacity of a 20-year-old.
Yeah, you haven't really changed much. So I'm there, and I'd be like ready to hit the, fire off the button for our intro. We had a really good intro for that show. We spent time and energy having cool intros for the show. And I'm like, well, if I fire it now, and you would call me and be like, yeah, I'm almost there. I'm coming up the hill up to Lee Hill, right? But then you hear your front door shut behind you, and you hear you like breathing as you're walking to your car into the driveway, and the door shut in the car. I'm like, this dude is not driving up the hill. He's leaving Federal Way.
Yep, driving up the hill. I'll be there in 5 minutes.
Always would say that. And I think you actually believe that. You would believe, like, I can get there in 5 minutes.
That's why I'm a race car driver, bro.
Yeah.
Driving fast as fuck. Just cutting it up. Lord.
So.
You've known me for too long.
And man. I should have known that, right? So I'm in this poker tournament, and you text me, like, I'm almost there. I'm like, oh, man. Well,
I'm like an hour away.
You were
2 hours away.
Well, you're only an hour and a half away, but it took you like 3 more hours to get there. Yeah. And so my dumb ass, I'm like, you know what? This is a decent hand. I don't have a huge chip stack, but I could double up. I might as well push because if I need to have if I'm going to have to like inconvenience you by being in this tournament when you show up, I should have at least make it worth our while.
You're going to try to somehow curtail the fact that you got ejected from the tournament on the fact that I was an hour late?
Because I went all in, which I wouldn't have gone all in on. I pushed all in with pair of jacks. I know what hand I had. Right? Pair of jacks. And this dude sucked out on the flop and beat me. I'm out of the tournament. But I was like, it's cool because he's going to be here in a minute anyway. I'm hungry because all I have is that really crappy cheeseburger from Caesar's Palace, British guy. Mm-hmm. And then I proceed to wait for hours for you to show up. My one chance at a World Series of Poker bracelet, and I decided to push all in with jacks.
I feel like this next 47 years of me living on planet Earth is going to be me hearing stories about my past trials and tribulations and all these different things that I could have, should have, would have, but you're going to remind me of, yeah. Oh, wait, here we go. Here's another one.
Yeah. What time are you going to be here today?
4:30.
What time did you get here today?
5:15.
Okay. At least you know.
Yes.
Yeah. It's not bad. 45 minutes.
Yes, I know.
You called me, and I don't know why I decided. I was like, oh, are you at the gate?
I heard you say that.
Yeah. No, you were
Did
at your house.
you conveniently notice that I didn't respond to that when you said, oh, are you?
Yeah. I was like, oh.
Sure not.
This dude not even left his house yet.
Well, yeah, no excuse there, but that was a super fun trip. Was that the trip that we stayed at the El Cortez?
I think that was
then we found that really kick-ass breakfast spot the next morning after we were like out just careening around.
And then when we saw Doug Stanhope,
who
was wasted, who you saw.
No, I take that back. You saw Doug Stanhope wandering off into the greater distance.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, there's the guy. And I was looking at ass and titties over here because there was some, we're in Vegas, and so they're everywhere.
Right. I was freshly in love.
So you're like, I can't look at that. And I'm over here like, oh, there's the boobies. Oh, who's Doug Stanhope?
Yeah.
You're like, your favorite comedian? Oh, yeah. Does he have boobies?
He does now, probably. He's getting up there.
Met Doug on Saturday. My friend Josh got tickets. We went to Laughs Comedy Club in downtown Seattle, and it was a day drinking show. And Laughs only, for their capacity, like 80 people tops?
Oh, no, it's more than that.
Okay.
Laughs for sure. It's pretty decent size. I'd say 120.
It's hard.
Maybe.
It's hard to tell the way the room is situated.
It's laid out a little odd.
A little odd.
Yeah.
But
oh, by the way, I looked. Literally, you were like, "Have you ever performed at Laughs?" I'm like, "Oh, I performed there when it was Giggles." And then yesterday on my Facebook memories popped up me doing it's like, "Hey, 8 years ago you did a show at Laughs." So I guess I have done it since it was Laughs. I just thought it was Giggles. So
yep, the world's fastest stand-up comedian. That's what I tell everybody about you.
What?
Well, I mean, you're a race car driver and you're a stand-up comedian. I mean, come on. I mean,
and then they
parallels.
get there and I slow talk like I do. Yeah, they'd be all confused.
No, but it was a great show. It was cool meeting Doug. I showed him the picture of when we went to go see him perform in 2005 up in Oak Harbor, and then I decided to projectile vomit all over my dad's car, and you had to drive home because I got hammered.
2007.
2007.
Yeah.
That wouldn't have been 2007 because I had already moved in 2007. So it had to be 2006.
That's why we're driving your dad's car, because your car wasn't here.
That could have been it.
I know it was 7 because it was after Amber, wife number 2, and I got divorced.
I must have been in town for just a brief moment, and you guys were like, "We have tickets, let's go," and you picked me up, and we went.
Yeah.
And then, if I remember,
that was a Youngsman Brothers gig, and they booked me, and so they hooked us up with tickets.
Jeremy Whitman was there, and Susan Jones was there as well. God, that was a fun show.
We're driving down.
I was so drunk.
I-5. You had to head out the window like a dog, just puking all down the side of your dad's car.
Have you ever? I mean, there's I have the flu. I throw up. Have you ever had food poisoning? Throw up is different.
I had that 2 weeks ago.
Food poisoning. I hate throwing up. It's
my least favorite thing in the world to do.
Your body is trying to get everything out of it as fast as possible, and it's just exhausting. And then, of course, your body's like, "Oh, you got everything out. Well, we better double check because we're gonna dry heave for another hour." And I was like, "Guys, I think I'm." Whoa! There's nothing coming out. I'm just screaming.
You're like, "You haven't done crunches in a while. How about this?" Yeah.
Oh, it was the worst. It was the absolute worst.
You know what? Speaking of, we went to Vegas a different time. This might have been El Cortez time. We went to go do a comedy show at some random bar in the outskirts of Vegas.
Yep.
And you just kind of take off for a minute somewhere. I don't know where you're going. And then you'd met a guy, a air quotes comic.
Right.
That nobody knew who he was. He wasn't from Vegas.
He was also performing that night. Yeah.
Yeah, he was terrible.
Okay.
And then you went out and decided to smoke weed in the parking lot with this guy.
It's called networking. All right.
And then
if you meet a stand-up comedian that's doing stand-up in Las Vegas, they're going somewhere. And so you're like, "Hey, I only live an hour and a half away.
We're there and we didn't go anywhere.
Maybe I could get this guy's networking information. I could start booking shows in Las Vegas and become a real boy."
I think basically he just told you he was doing it to sell drugs. Wasn't that kind of what he said? I
don't remember, because whatever weed I smoked, blackout high.
And puking again. So much puking.
How you know that you smoked too much marijuana?
Is that a thing?
You can puke
vomit from marijuana? That's a thing?
I think, yeah. Anytime you toxicify your being so much, I don't know. I just puke a lot.
Because you weren't really drinking or anything. It wasn't it was just all of a sudden, next thing you know, you're just puking all over.
It was the strain. It's you go to a dispensary and it's like, "Can you give me the strain that makes me projectile vomit after I smoke this?"
And you wonder why people want to stab you. There's things about you.
There are things
we can guarantee, we can count on you being late, you getting high, and you puking at some point.
God, I thought I was pretty charming this whole time. It really helped me out in the self-esteem department.
It's a weird kind of charm.
Oh, great.
Not everybody can pull that off.
Wow, thanks.
Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe one of these days we'll tell the Eskimo Brothers story about how you came and visited in Red Lodge.
Eskimo Brothers. That's not how that works. We were not Eskimo Brothers.
We shared an ice cream cone. It was a Klondike ice cream bar. Therefore,
those are delicious.
Eskimo Brothers.
We went to go. It was pretty cool. We went. So I was working, restoring, building hot rods at the time.
But not just any hot rod. It seemed like you were building Mustangs of a classic era specifically.
At this particular
It was
day,
like 65s to like 68s.
a lot of those, but I was working on a 57 F100 that had a sprint car chassis under it, of all weird things.
Jesus, whatever happened to that? I thought it sounds badass.
It had a 460 in it. It was really bad. The guy, well, I was just talking to...
You can just put a NASCAR chassis under a truck?
This was a sprint car chassis. No, he used part of the Ford, or the Ford truck frame, but just it was weird. We had to fix it because it literally had the left rear tire was smaller than the right rear tire, and it was whoever started the project. It was a former sprint car guy who wanted to use it as a sprint car push truck or something, and so he wanted to go out and rip it around like a sprint car would. It'd be terrible for driving on the street because it always just want to turn left all the time.
That makes sense. Yeah.
When the guy that we were working on it for, he wanted to change it up, we had to put it and square it up and make sure it would, go down the road straight and turn left and right. But that was the whole idea behind it. It's still not done. I don't know. He ran out of money and it got 90% done and he's never finished it.
And it's still in the same...
It's in his garage for the last 20 years.
Damn.
Yeah. So I just left. That was in SeaTac. So I left SeaTac. I'm driving home to Auburn and I get a call from you. Mm-hmm. Said, hey, what are you doing tomorrow? Was it like, that's what it was? What are you doing tomorrow?
No.
Or the next day or Thursday or whatever?
There was like a 3-day window.
Yeah.
There had to have been. There was no way you were going to be able to.
No, so.
You tell I'm going to quit interrupting. I'm going to go outside and smoke some weed and then go throw up on your deck. You tell the story.
No, so.
Okay, I'm back.
You feed the fish.
Yeah.
That happened to me in Cancun. Not for smoking weed. I just got seasick and threw up, and all the fish came and yum, like in the water snorkeling, and I just, and then just watch all the fish eat my puke. It's pretty disgusting. I get seasick kind of easy sometimes. I get seasick in the race car sometimes. I've never puked yet. I've been close.
Throws up outside of the track, causes a pile up.
Oh man, yeah, it'd be slippery. You wouldn't want to drive through that.
Puke pile up.
Yeah. The problem is that
this is so stupid.
I don't have an open face helmet because it would just be in my helmet, just running down. I'd be like, oh, I don't want to do that now with my new helmet. My new Stilo all grossed out. No. My new fire suit.
And the smell.
Oh, God, it'd be terrible.
Armpits.
I would just pull in at that
bile.
point. Like, I can't keep racing. It's terrible.
All right, back to the story.
You call me. I'm literally leaving SeaTac to go home to Auburn. And you're like, you got to get here. You're living in where at the time?
Montana.
Red Lodge, Montana.
Red Lodge, Montana. Population 2,000 people. No stoplights. They got one radio station in that town. It happened to be an electoral year.
Yep.
And
this was the Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton election.
And I could not get enough of talking about politics, man. I was just on that train.
So you got the call that you're going to interview Bill Clinton ahead of the primaries for that year's election.
Correct.
Against
for the radio
Hillary.
station.
Yeah.
But I mean, those type of calls don't just happen. Like, I met Senator John Tester at a rally that was in Red Lodge at the time, and I thought it was important to be that. And then I got onto he has like a select amount of people that would call and do like weekly updates on what he's doing for the state of Montana. And then with that, then I got an invite to go to the, what do they call it? The campaign where it was basically Hillary versus Barack.
Right.
And they have a big rally.
Yeah.
And it's by invite only. And I got an invite to go to that. And before that happened, you get all these emails like, would you like to interview so-and-so telling you to vote for this candidate or so-and-so. I got to interview Ted Danson.
From Cheers?
From Cheers.
Why?
For the rally, for the vote for Hillary.
Was he a Tester guy? Oh, he was a Hillary guy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And boy, you couldn't talk over him. He was just one run-on sentence after another, and you'd be like, well, Ted, tell me, but it's a pundits and the thing, and he'd just keep talking over you. And then...
you didn't call me for that one.
No, the reason I called was because I had an email saying, would you like to interview former President Bill Clinton?
Yeah. You're like, yes, of course I would. So
I mean, you get that email, you're like, you're shitting me, right?
Yeah.
Nope. It was a real email.
So I called myself. I didn't have any money at the time, really, too much, right? To be in flights to Billings is where you'd fly into.
Correct.
Are expensive from SeaTac.
Yeah.
Back then, like it was like $550.
That's the one thing about flying to like no-name places in the Midwest. They can charge you whatever they want.
Yeah. I called my buddy at the time. He worked for Alaska Airlines. He's a pilot now, but he worked for Frontier.
Southwest?
No, it's one of the little regional ones that flies out of. They're based out of Colorado, but they'd fly into Billings.
Dude, no idea.
Anyways, just say Frontier because it might have been Frontier. He got me a buddy pass.
Okay.
For like $7.50 or something stupid.
Dude.
And
hook it up.
He's like, but the flight leaves. This is no joke. I'm driving from SeaTac to Auburn so I can get pack, feed the cats before I leave and take off. He was like, the flight leaves in like an hour. I'm in the Montego. I put that thing in low gear and I'm going, man. I make it home, grab some clothes, throw them in a bag, probably like a literal bag at the time, throw some cat food in a bowl, some water, leave the door open for him, and bounce. Make it back to the airport. I get on the plane, I make it, and I fly into Billings. You pick me up, and it's late by the time I get in.
Yeah.
It's like midnight late. It's like the last flight. The airport's empty.
You're like, I was buzzing, and you were buzzing too. Yeah. It's like, we're going to interview a fucking president?
Right?
Are you kidding me?
It's crazy. It was a Wednesday. Actually, no, it was a Wednesday when you called me because I was like such a random thing. So Wednesday night, I land, and then on the plane, I'm writing questions.
Yep.
And we had I think it's 7 questions.
You know what we could do? Because you still have the email. Do we want to, at the end of this episode, put that at the end of listening to young me and young you?
I could try to find it. I don't know if I
still have it.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay, if not now, we can find it for sure for later, yeah. Well, that would be interesting.
But we could put it on the end of the show. I could get it to you before the show goes live.
All right.
Because it goes live
tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I could definitely get that to you.
So,
hey guys, it's me, Bill Clinton.
Yeah, he sounded pretty rough.
7 years ago, our forefathers, and you're like, Mr. Clinton, tell me about your policy on.
So we had some jokey questions we wanted to ask, but I chickened out.
No, I mean it was too. Tell us about the blue dress.
You got to ask him about your parents. He would send Christmas cards to your parents.
Dude, my parents donated thousands of dollars to their campaign because I think my mom had a low-key crush on Bill Clinton. And my dad didn't really care. He was so just follow my mom's coattails around. So my mom I think we need to make a donation to the Clinton campaign. And we had fucking posters, pins, Christmas cards.
And
fuck, it was weird. I'd be like, oh, look, another postcard from the president, Mom.
Well, he probably remembers it. He has a photographic memory.
Bill Clinton?
Yeah. Insane photographic memory.
Okay, I didn't know that about him.
Oh, yeah, there's some crazy stories out there. That he met this kid 20 years later. The guy was working at politics, and he was like, hey, you're that kid I met 20 years ago. And the guy's like, what the hell?
He's like
I'm Bill Clinton. That's what I do.
It's like he pulls out a saxophone and just starts ripping.
There's a reason that guy got so many chicks. If you got that kind of parlor trick action going on, because girls oh, she's listening to me, or he's listening to me. He just got photographic memory. He didn't pay that much attention.
Also, I think we were watching the Arsenio Hall show.
That was way before.
That night at home on Fox, and my mom was like, ooh.
Oh, you were.
Girl.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, who's that sexy man?
Right. Your mom was probably still a number back then.
Campaign running Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
Ooh, who's that sexy man?
Sexy
man.
So I feel like that morning, so it had been Thursday morning, we got up early, interviewed him, because I wouldn't have had to rush so much if I had a whole day. So we interviewed him Thursday. We get back to your place midnight.
Yep.
In your little single wide along the river that a moose attacked.
Yep.
And
true story.
Then for no reason, right? Just unprovoked.
It was weird. Yeah, I wasn't even there. I just came home and there was a window missing and there was hoof prints. Fucking who knows, dude.
like Grandma got run over by a reindeer style?
Yeah.
Claws marks.
Yeah. And then you like, hey, I was asking some of the coworkers, they're like, that looks like a moose. I was like, well, yep, we're going to have to call the window guy and get that fixed.
My neighbor just got back from Alaska and made me some food with moose. It was delicious. The first time I had moose, I was surprised how good it was. Anyway, we're getting sidebarred here. We interview him. We're on a high, right? Like,
we're buzzing.
For radio DJs, like that's pretty much the pinnacle. For me, for sure, because I was you professional all over. You talked to Larry the Cable Guy and all kinds of people throughout your career.
Oh yeah, but
I got
still,
some low level comedians and stuff like that, and some screamo rock band people, and then Bill Clinton. Like that's how it works for me.
But it was like
we can't get
a competitive guy, and when you went to radio college, you were also paying attention to what your classmates and where they went off to go work or wherever. And there were some guys, a handful of people from our school that went to go to top tier radio stations in Seattle.
DJ No Name.
And I was like, fuck those guys, man. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna do it my own way. Like Eminem, like, no spaghetti, dog. Oh, shoot, I'm gonna show everyone. And the only job I found was in this really small town in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Do you remember how much your first contract was for? I do.
$18,000
a year.
A year.
Yeah. And the best part about your contract, besides they give you that mobile home to live in, you want to say the other part?
No, you tell them.
You weren't allowed to have girls over. They paid you 18. You signed a contract saying, yeah, I'll take $18,000 a single wide that a moose will attack and not have girls over, which you have a moose attack mobile home. Girls weren't coming over anyway. They didn't need to put that in the contract.
Dude, it was kind of by the dump.
It was kind of cool till the river washed out the whole entire trailer park.
Right.
Yeah.
He's not kidding about any of this stuff. It's I've tried to like watch. That's why I smoke so much weed, because I'm trying to forget these memories. Except for the Bill Clinton part, that was pretty cool.
So then that night I stayed. So I decided like I had time. I'm staying all weekend. It's cool. I like Red Lodge a lot. It's a great little town.
It's a very Norman Rockwell. One road in, one road out.
Yeah, I got to meet some of your friends and stuff. And we went to the Rege for breakfast.
We went to the Rege for the breakfast. That was a delicious
That place is so
spot.
good. One of my favorite breakfast spots in my entire life. The Rege's.
Yeah, that was good.
There was a local Seattle band playing a show, the Lonely H. Randomly, they were playing a show there.
Don't remember that.
Yeah.
All the gin and tonics that night.
So that's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm not a drinker, but there was a cute girl there.
There was.
That you introduced me to. And she liked gin and tonics. So I'm like, I drink gin and tonic. I never had a gin and tonic in my entire life. And I'm like, this thing tastes like those Christmas tree things in your car.
Yep.
Like, it was the worst tasting thing I've ever. And I had like 6 of them.
Yeah, but they work.
And, like, that was embarrassing. How terrible was that? Like,
it was definitely the icing on the cake for after we interviewed Bill Clinton. Mind you, on the date of John F. Kennedy's birthday.
Oh.
And even Mr. Bill didn't know that. Oh, I didn't know that. Hey! Yeah, we definitely have to find that interview and throw it up at the end of this.
Well, we'll do that. We'll see if we can find that.
Circle track. Who the hell knows what you're going to get on the In the Fence podcast?
You know what I can tell you? A lot of people listening to this podcast, probably not Clinton supporters. More Bill than Hillary, probably, but
Hillary.
And Hillary lost, by the way. Spoiler alert.
She did, and she also wouldn't take a picture with me.
Really?
Yeah, they were doing photo ops there at the end, and we were up in Missoula, Montana. That was where the rally thing was, and Barack got out and spoke first, and I didn't have a chance for photo op, and I was like, I'm gonna get a photo op with Hillary and send that to my mom, and she's gonna be all like, oh my gosh, I'm finally proud of you.
Right? That would have been
after all these things you put me through, I'm finally proud of you. And she wouldn't do it.
Oh, if you had told her about your mom being proud of you, she might have. Well, that's what she gets. That's why she didn't win.
Where are we at for time?
I think we're good.
All right, Killer, thank you so much for joining us for the episode tonight. We appreciate you. And, of course, we appreciate you coming through and seeing us at the racetrack. So anytime you get to see John or Aaron out working on the car, just come up and be like, hey, we've been listening to the show. We love the show.
This Saturday, I forgot to, I was on top of this. Well, we had some potential guests, but we haven't heard from them, so obviously we're not going to be on the show this weekend. But one of the things I want to talk about is Figure 8 Nationals are this weekend at Evergreen Speedway.
Okay, what's that?
It's different than it used to be because now there's a couple different figure eight classes. It used to be, I believe it was like 100 laps when they had just, what we have now is super stock figure eights. It was just them. But now we have outlaws and super stocks and stinger eights. So I think they probably just knocked down like 50 laps each. But it's still like the biggest race of the year. Most, it used to be $10,000 to win back in the 90s.
Damn.
Now it's probably $1,000 to win. Still a really cool race. I'm really bummed I'm not gonna be in it this year. I was in it 2 years ago. Had a great time.
Would the 98 car that I'm pointing at right now on the Star Motorsports banner here in the podcast studio, that would be the type of car that you would run?
That's the car I raced in the Nationals 2 years ago. I ran it in both classes. I ran it in the super stock class and in the outlaw class with no power steering. It was like 100 degrees that day.
How'd you do?
I did okay, actually. I don't remember exactly, but I think I got top 10 in both.
Hell yeah, you did. Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah, that's a good car. When we got the power steering fixed, man, it was night and day.
So is that one still in the paddock or not?
That one is out in the weeds waiting for me to bring it to the shop after the late model's fixed. Now that the Legends are gone, it's next in line.
Okay, good.
But it won't be ready for this weekend, obviously.
She's a little sad that she's hanging out in the weeds. She wants a little loving.
Yeah, it needs a weed eater and a forklift to get in the shop. We can get that going. So anyways, go check out the Figure Eight Nationals this weekend, and it'll be always a good time.
Now, because it's the Figure Eight Nationals, that is going to be the main event, or they're going to have a bunch of different classes as well, like they always do at
Yeah,
Evergreen
there'll be the
Speedway.
3 Figure Eight classes, and I don't know what else. Won't be any late models. I'd be surprised if there's any Legends. Probably maybe some Hornets or something.
Okay.
And
school buses.
Probably,
What about school buses?
I don't think so. Actually, you know what? They might have a school bus figure eight. That would make sense. I don't know.
think so.
Go to
If it's Figure Eight Nationals.
evergreenspeedway.com and find out. And then also, if anybody wants to come help out on the In the Fence podcast, Star Motorsports number 28 Mustang late model, super late model for this race on June 20th at South Speedway, get a hold of us because we could definitely use somebody to help out with tire pressures and temps.
And the best way to do that,
a spotter.
message Aaron or John on Instagram or on Facebook.
Yep.
Those are the best places because those are the ones we check the most.
Yep. So anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. And if the podcast keeps going, that means we found the footage from back in the day with Bill Clinton. And if not, have a great week. We'll have a great week either way.
Perfect. FM 99, The Mountain, speaking with President Clinton. Where are you calling from today, sir?
I'm back in New York today. I just came back from 3 days in Puerto Rico, and tomorrow I'm heading out for South Dakota and Montana.
I got to tell you, your schedule for traveling is absolutely incredible.
I've worked hard from March 1st. The first 8 states, I was in 245 communities, separate communities. I'm doing, I think, about a dozen or more in Montana and about the same in South Dakota and Puerto Rico. So I've had an interesting time. I've seen a lot of America.
Huge honor for me, and I want to thank you again for all the wonderful Christmas cards you've sent our family throughout the years. My mom has been a supporter of you since 1992 in the very first election year.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yes, you're welcome.
We had a good time picking those Christmas cards out, actually. That's something Hillary and I did a lot of work on.
Wonderful. First off, you know which former president's birthday it is today?
What is it?
John F. Kennedy's.
I didn't know that, no.
Yeah, he would have been 91 today.
I wish he'd made it.
Yeah, you're not the only one. How does Hillary stay focused on the issues that are necessary for change when the media wants to focus on clothing choices and all this other that has nothing to do with the presidential campaign?
Well, I think she's been very good at that. She went through a period, as you know, of pretty biased media coverage. She just kept focusing on how she wanted to turn the economy around and provide health care for all Americans. And she tells herself every day, if it doesn't create a job or help educate a child, I don't want to talk about it. She's been able to do it through a rough February when she was out of money, outspent, and lost 11 contests in a row, and then people rallied to her, and then she's just won like crazy in March, April, and May and done really wonderful things.
You know, I completely agree with you. It's just been a whirlwind back and forth, and I have to apologize. I actually didn't introduce myself. My name is Bill Buckner. I'm with my co-host Riggs. We're calling you from Red Lodge, Montana today.
I want to be near you. Stevensville's pretty close to you, isn't it?
Stevensville is within driving distance. You know, the presidential campaign has changed so much
since 1996 in the elections, when, the increased use of the internet, the deregulation of media outlets. Do you think that this has made things better or worse?
A little bit of both. I think that on the one hand, the fact that you have all these blog sites on the internet, there's a lot of outrageous stuff on there. But if people have a preference, they normally don't hide it. And the internet has empowered a lot of people of modest means to give funds. I mean, when Hillary's campaign was broke in February, more than 300,000 people, most of whom were not well off at all, decided they wanted her in the race, and they sent her $30 million. So I think there's a lot of good in it. On the other hand, it has put the traditional media under enormous pressures. They don't have the time they once did to really evaluate these stories. There's no fairness doctrine anymore. And we've been on the short end of that stick a little bit in this campaign, so I think there's some negative things about it too, but you just have to fight through it.
You're 100% correct. It's hard for me being part of a small radio group, but, getting the word out there is really what it's all about this year.
That's what I think.
Mr. President, being this is Montana and it's a very rural community statewide, is there anything that Hillary can do in the immediate future to help out truckers, farmers, and ranchers during this time of soaring fuel costs to help stabilize the economy?
Yeah, I'd like to talk about that. I think that Hillary, first of all, has a serious commitment in making sure that all the economic growth doesn't go to cities and suburbs. And I think that's really important. She got 60% of the vote in the 40 counties in New York, two-thirds of our counties that voted to re-elect President Bush, because of the work she did to try to help farmers cut their fuel costs and find new markets and support small communities. The second thing I'd say specifically on the energy cost is she thinks that we've got to have a short, medium, and a long-term solution. In the short run, she believes we need to try to have a temporary relief from fuel prices by asking the oil companies to pay a fee to replace the federal gas tax for 6 months, because she thinks that there are a lot of people literally choosing between filling up that tank and putting food on the table or buying medicine for the family. Then she believes we should repeal the subsidies we gave the big oil and nuclear companies in the 2005 energy bill, and she's the only candidate you can vote for that actually voted against that bill. She wants to use that money to move into really high mileage vehicles as quickly as possible and to give tax credits to the purchasers to afford to buy them. I think you're going to see more and more trucks, not just cars, but trucks, driven in plug-in electric vehicles. You're going to see more hybrid vehicles that are big trucks. You're going to see more efficient biodiesel big trucks. And eventually, I think you're going to see a lot of these big trucking fleets run on hydrogen or a combination of that and other things. And she thinks we can drastically accelerate that.
And really, Hillary is so progressive as far as a lot of the ideas that she has as far as No Child Left Behind and with health insurance. I mean, seriously, it cannot work when oil is $140 a barrel.
You can't bring the American economy back for the middle class and give poor people a chance to work into it.
No,
and reclaim the future if we keep oil at $140 a barrel and we keep present energy patterns. And the government needs to lead the way so that people out here who live and make a living in rural America can afford to do it. We can cut the energy cost without lowering the price of oil dramatically. You can't stop other people from buying oil.
You're absolutely correct. We're getting buzzed right now. We got to take off. Thank you so much for taking some time to talk with us. No matter the outcome of the election, I would like to say thanks to Hillary's campaign for not giving up. Quitting is not quality I look for in a president.
No, you don't need that. And, when this is over, I think what we'll see is, with Florida and Michigan resolved in some way, she will have more popular votes. He will have more delegates from the caucus states, and that'll be his lead. Then the superdelegates will have to decide who will be the best president and who's the most electable. Whatever happens, we just got to see this thing through to the end, have an honorable resolution for those two states, and then pull this party together and win in November. That's her goal.
There you go.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. President. It's been a huge
guys.
honor.
Yes. Have yourself a great day, and I look forward to seeing you in Stevensville.